two prodigies. They have their own path to greatness. One's a maestro, the other one a playmaking machine. This isn't just about highlight reels. There are subtle differences. In each defining moment, we'll see who is the next king quarterback. Welcome to Cash Club TV, man. We're ready to break down this story, man. We're going to dive into a rivalry that's going to shape up for probably the next decade. Caleb Williams versus Jayden Daniels. And man, this is interesting. These two quarterbacks represent completely different styles and journeys. And by understanding their strength and weaknesses and storylines, we're going to see who dominates the league. I want to see it. Also, we're going to see how the NFL's evolving because this is big. Let's do a deep dive into their talent, decision-making, and just their sheer football production. All right, man. The 2024 season, right? For rookie quarterbacks, man, it was exciting, especially if you think of the ones that came before this. I looked forward to it. At the forefront of this, it was Caleb Williams for the Bears and Jayden Daniels for the Washington Commanders. These two rookies captured attention from the very first snap. Let's just break down the numbers to start off, right? So by week 17 of last year, Caleb Williams has thrown 3,900 yards. He threw 25 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. He completed about 65% of his passes. His QBR was like 56.9. I think that was like 13 amongst all quarterbacks, which is not bad. I mean, you have people like Geno Smith, Russell Wilson. You know, as a rookie, that's not bad, right? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, especially learning on the fly, dealing with two head coaches and some different offense coordinators. It's not bad, right? So you're looking at Jayden Daniels, right? He just finished his rookie season last year. He had 3,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But what really set him apart was his mobility. I'm not going to lie. He did rush for 782 yards and 6 touchdowns, which was second to Lamar Jackson. That's pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. So in total, he had 29 touchdowns, and that put him top 10 for all combined QB scoring. All right, look at this. Just look at team success, right? The Commanders went 9-8, and they got a wild card berth. I mean, they had a stable coaching system and a top 10 defense. We ain't going to say that, but we're just going to put that in there, right? They had a consistent offensive line that, they allowed them to execute, right? The Bears finished 8-9, which was definitely an improvement from a previous 4-13 record. But, I mean, it was still a transition, right? So here's the difference, right? Daniels, he was a stability, right? And Caleb had more adversity. They both have high ceilings, right? They just came from two different environments, which, I mean, I think at this point, I think some stuff is going to turn around. I mean, but let's just get into, let's just step back for a second, right? I mean, if you look at just their backgrounds, right? When Caleb Williams was in college, for example, right? He won the Heisman. He was a viral sensation. I mean, he was the face of college football. I mean, if we're being real, at USC. I mean, he had Lincoln Riley. He was creative. He had arm strength. He was a prototype for an NFL quarterback for a franchise. You know what I mean? They said he was NFL ready. And one thing he did lack is structure, which, I mean, he definitely could have worked on. I'm not going to lie. But he was a star. But if you look at Jayden Daniels, his path was crazy. He was at Arizona State. He had a lot of ups and downs. I mean, he had some flashes of being good, but I mean, he struggled. He wasn't consistent. Then he went to LSU. That's where he really kind of exploded, if we're being honest. He had 4,900 yards, 50 touchdowns. He won the Heisman Trophy. I think LSU really installed discipline, poise, better decision making. I think that made him more NFL ready at first. Which I think that's what made him the slight edge over Caleb, which you just couldn't tell. Who knows? You don't know at that point. Nobody would, right? So look at the pre-draft scouting. Caleb was more of Mahomes, talent, can be volatile under pressure. Daniels was poised, he was accurate, dangerous when protected. Now you fast forward to the rookie seasons, right? Caleb has had some highlights that have been crazy. I mean, if we're being honest with you. But Daniels he's been executing. I mean, he had a better system. He just been showing that he had maybe better talent at that point. And maybe a better football IQ. But who knows, right? Now, I mean, here's the fun part, right? I mean, how they actually play, right? If you kind of break it down, I think Caleb is like a football artist. He has like a bunch of skills, improvisational skills. He can spin out of sacks. He can extend plays. He can throw 40 yards, lasers off the back foot. I mean, that's pretty elite, right? I remember in week 11 last year, he threw a no-look touchdown on a broken play. I mean, that kind of throw, I mean, only a handful of quarterbacks can really do it, right? He ranked 6th in the league for big-time throws. He led all rookies in passing yards outside the pocket. I mean, there's a caveat. His creativity sometimes for me comes with a risk. He ranked, 8th in turnovers, turnover-worthy plays, as they want to say. I mean, whatever. So sometimes it can backfire, right? But when you look at Jayden Daniels, I mean, it's like controlled chaos to his game. He has great deep ball accuracy. He was ranked 5th in the NFL. He created 72% of all his passes within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. He's a dual threat. What more can I say? He doesn't improvise as good as Caleb, but he does execute with precision under pressure. I mean, he is a nightmare when it comes to that, especially when you got to deal with opposing coordinators, especially when the offense is clicking. All right? It's just the truth, all right? So just to give you a quick summary here, Caleb Williams, he's kind of like freestyle jazz, unpredictable, creative, which can be great. Jayden Daniels, he's like precision engineering, disciplined, methodical, and efficient. So when you break it down, Caleb can create something from nothing. I think he's great, just improving, going off script. While Daniels is great with structure and timing. They're both valuable, but they're both different, right? So if we're just looking at the future, Jayden Daniels plays in this kind of a stable environment. He has a great offensive coordinator. He has a strong defense. Great weapons like, Terry McLaurin. He has Dotson, which has helped him thrive, right? And really doesn't do a lot of mistakes. Caleb, on the other hand, the Bears, man, they were under construction last year. But he had weapons. I mean, he had DJ Moore. He had Rome. He had Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen actually left this year, but he did have him last year. So his ceiling to me, I think, is super high. If I'm being honest, but it's not perfect. So that's what comes with it, right? If we look back, I feel like Daniels was the more polished rookie, but Caleb showed superstar potential too. He led the league in explosive completions under pressure. I think he had like QBR of like a 72.1 in clean pockets, which was like top 5 in the NFL. So if you protect him, he's good, man. Short-term advantage. Daniels, due to system stability and polish efficiency, he looks better, right? He does. But long-term, Caleb is a natural talent. He's adaptable and he's creative. I think what the Bears learned this year, they stabilized their offensive scheme, which has helped Caleb, even though he still struggles in certain areas. Daniels, I'm not going to say he's regressed this year. He's dealt with injuries, other stuff like that, people being in and out the lineups. But Caleb is outplaying him this year. So, it's kind of in the air so far. Rookie year, I will give it to Daniels. I will give it to him any day. If we're just being honest, I have to. He's just killing it out there. I have to do this, right? But, let's look at the legacy, right? Because it's not all about stats. It's just kind of what they represent in the league. I do think Jayden Daniels is that next dual threat quarterback that's going to be a big inspiration to other quarterbacks that will come behind him. Just because he has a lot of improvisation and mobility. I think Caleb is going to represent kind of the creativity era where instinct meets innovation. And just being off script and be able to, I just think he can create from that point of view, right? I think so. Why not, right? If history is any guide, I do think maybe in a decade, I'll give him the Burrow, Herbert, or even Brady Manning. That's big, but I can see it. That's just some of the things. I have that type of regard for both of these quarterbacks. I think they're really, really good. And I think they're, with Ben Johnson this year, I think, man, if I'm being honest with you, I think Caleb's going to take it to the next level. Just being real with you. And I think Jayden Daniels is going to continue to build off of that. I have high hopes for both of these people, man. I have nothing but high hopes for both of them. But I agree. They have to keep it up, and be on target. So, fast forward to this year, right? Because last year they played, and we know how that ended. Jayden Daniels won on a, I'm not going to say a lucky Hail Mary. That's going to sound biased, but a Hail Mary at the end. But they both played well, and you can't say one outplayed the other in a crazy fashion, correct? But this year, week 6, Caleb Williams, he had just throughout the, not at the game, but just the stats up until that point, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, QBR of 60, which he needs to really work on. Completion percentage of 65%. They're 3-3. As I make this video now, they're 4-2. Trying to head into 5-2 after just beating the Saints. Against the Commanders, he had 252 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Game-winning drive. He did show growth under Ben Johnson, reading defenses under pressure. Swift had a monster game, so I definitely want to give that to Swift also. I don't want to just give him full praise, but he played his butt off on that. Next, if I want to look at Jayden Daniels' stats during that game, he had 875 yards so far throughout the season, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 52 QBR, which is worse, slightly less completion percentage at 62, and the same record. So, I mean, they're both kind of, they're not looking that great, right? I'm being honest with you. Even against that Bears team, he didn't play well at the end. So, I mean, just full analysis, kind of a breakdown. Caleb is that clutch, adaptable rising star. He leads a competitive Bears team whose defense is fuming right now. So I'm happy about that. Daniels, he's talented, he's versatile. But his offensive cohesion this year has not been well. And I think Caleb's outplaying him, if I'm being completely honest. So after this week, I think Caleb does have the slight edge as of right now, the better quarterback this year. Talent and adaptability. He's definitely a franchise quarterback for me. He definitely has to get better in the pocket. He definitely has to improve certain areas of his game. But I think Daniels is still a super threat. He has to just be consistent. I think he's fine. All right. So let me know what you think, right? Who do you think is the next quarterback? Is it Caleb? Is it Jalen? You let me know. But as you do that, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to get more deep dive storytelling. I mean, this is Cash Club TV. I know I talked a lot of football. It's basketball season, man, and that's my sport. So I'm about to get into it, man. All the drama, dishing out all that, man. So this is Cash Club TV, and I'm out.